The movie opens with black circles converging into the shape of a human figure. As the transformation occurs, a woman tries to speak, but her words are inaudible. The scene then cuts to a motorcyclist stopping on the roadside to pick up an unconscious girl, placing her in a van. The paralyzed girl is laid before a mysterious naked woman, who undresses her and notices a single tear roll down her cheek. After dressing herself, the woman spots an ant crawling on the girl's body and picks it up before leaving the building and returning to the van. Later, the mysterious woman arrives at a shopping mall, quietly observing human behavior, particularly women applying makeup and skin care to enhance their looks. She buys new clothes and adopts the habit of putting on lipstick. That evening, she resumes her hunt, seemingly in search of someone specific. Driving through the city, she approaches single men at random. She first asks a young man for directions to the M8 motorway, but his answer is convoluted. When she offers him a ride, he declines, saying he's meeting someone. She then questions another man about the post office, only to lose interest after discovering he has a family. Eventually, she meets a highway electrician who lives alone. She offers him a ride, but lets him go after realizing he's not interested in her. Soon after, she finds another man, calls him handsome, and leads him to a dark room. As she undresses, he follows, only to sink into a black, liquid-like floor while she watches impassively. A haunting predatory score plays as he disappears. Once he's gone, she dresses and continues her search. The next morning, she spots a man swimming in the ocean. After he finishes, she strikes up a conversation, learning he's from the Czech Republic and only visits the area to swim. Their exchange is cut short when they notice a woman struggling to stay afloat while trying to save her dog. The swimmer hesitates, but then rushes to help when another man dives in. The woman drifts away, and the swimmer manages to save the man, her husband, before returning to search for her. Exhausted, he collapses on the shore, where the mysterious woman strikes his head with a stone and drags him away, ignoring a crying baby nearby. That night, the motorcyclist arrives, picks up a piece of clothing near the wailing child, and leaves without helping. Meanwhile, the mysterious woman trails a new target heading toward a club, but she's drawn inside by a crowd of partying women, disappearing into the chaos. Feeling uneasy, she slips away from the crowd and wanders into an underground lounge. By chance, she spots the man she had been targeting earlier and strikes up a conversation. He mentions having seen her on the road, and their exchange turns playful. After dancing together, she lures him to the same dark room as before. As he follows her, naked, he begins to sink into the black, liquid floor. Beneath the surface, he encounters another man whose skin has softened and loosened from his body. When their hands touch, the earlier victim's body collapses inward, leaving only an empty skin shell. His blood and organs are drawn away through a conveyor system that feeds into an opening in the wall. The next day, she is caught in traffic when a flower seller approaches her van and hands her a rose purchased by a man in another car. She notices blood on the wrapping, but realizes it's from a cut on the seller's hand. Shortly after, she hears a news report about the family who drowned in the ocean, but pays it no mind. Later, she encounters another man who compliments her beauty. She takes him to the dark room, where he meets the same fate as the others. Afterwards, the motorcyclist appears, locking eyes with her in an intense, silent exchange, almost as if speaking directly into her mind. She leaves the house, walking through the streets alone, and at one point, trips, momentarily stunned. Bystanders rush to help, but she abruptly walks away. She continues observing those around her, as if trying to understand the rhythms of everyday human life. While driving, her van is suddenly surrounded by a group of rowdy men pounding on the windows. She remains calm, drives away, and soon spots a man walking alone. She asks for directions and offers him a ride. Once inside, the man reveals a severely disfigured face and explains that he shops at night to avoid people. He admits he's never had a friend or a girlfriend. Hearing this, she stops the van and invites him to touch her face and neck. Entranced, he follows her to the dark room, where a strange figure stands in the shadows. She reassures him that it won't interfere. As he begins to sink, she steps out and gazes at herself in a mirror. Something changes. She lingers on her reflection, as if feeling emotion for the first time. She notices a trapped fly nearby, and in a moment of impulse, frees the disfigured man. Naked, he flees across a field, only to be intercepted by the motorcyclist, who knocks him unconscious and stuffs him into a car trunk before driving away. Meanwhile, she continues driving until she stops, bewildered by the changes stirring within her. Leaving the van, she disappears into a dense fog. Elsewhere, the motorcyclist stares into her mirror, silently wondering where she has gone. After a long walk, the girl arrives at a restaurant and tries to eat a slice of chocolate cake, but it makes her choke and vomit. She then leaves the restaurant and finds herself waiting at a bus stop due to the rain. Once on the bus, she meets a kind-hearted man who offers to help her, and she accepts. After shopping, the man takes her to his house, where he cooks the mammal. However, the girl ignores the food and turns her attention to a stand-up comedy show on the television. She watches it intently, attempting to learn more about human behavior, and also enjoys some music while the man washes the dishes. Later that night, the girl undresses and looks at the beauty of her body. Elsewhere, the motorcyclist gathers with his friends, and they set out on a mission to find the girl. The next morning, the mysterious girl gets a chance to explore the hill area with the man. At some point, she gets scared, but the man helps her overcome her fear and leads her inside a cave-like room. At night, the girl gets ready to make love with the man, but not knowing what it means, she pushes the man away and examines her private part closely using a lamp. The following day, she leaves the man's house and sets out on a walk through the woods on her own. Along the way, she comes across a commercial logger who warns her about the dangers of the forest and asks her to be cautious. After some time, the girl decides to take a break and rest in a shelter that she finds in the woods. When she falls asleep, the logger sneaks up on her and attempts to rape her. The girl fights back and runs away from him. She tries to flee in a logging truck, but she is unable to find the keys. When the logger catches up to her, she honks the truck's horn for help, but no one comes. Therefore, she abandons the truck and continues her escape into the woods. Unfortunately, the logger manages to catch up to her and tries to rape her once again. In the chaos, he accidentally rips her skin and is taken aback when he sees pitch-black flesh underneath. Terrified, he runs off while the girl sheds her torn skin, revealing a featureless black body. After a while, the logger returns and douses her in fuel. He sets her ablaze, and the following girl tries to escape, but the flames consume her and reduce her to ashes and smoke. The movie ends with the motorcyclist standing on the mountaintop, gazing out at the snowy field as he continues his search for the girl.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.